Everyone remember a couple months back when this shocking Goldman Sachs survey came out and people were like, wait, investment banking is a lot of work and people are miserable. And then it somehow snowballed and basically led to the entire industry waking up and realizing for the first time in 100 years, maybe we should be paying analysts a bit more and making working conditions a little bit better. And bank after bank after bank started offering more money, Peloton bikes, since that's going to make people's lives a lot more happier. A week or so back, it came out that this survey actually was initiated by the son of a big finance private equity shop, TPG. Their vice chairman or something's son was at this core of this survey. And I saw this, initially probably had similar feelings to many of you and thought, the person that has benefited from the system itself has now went against the system and basically led this revolution against the industry. A little bit ironic maybe, but then I started thinking a bit more, went on Wall Street Oasis, saw the post that is now the most upvoted thing right now in the investment banking forum. Some of the comments are like, dude, you don't know what it feels like. You shouldn't be complaining. Ironic that it came from this big boy's son. I don't know if I agree with all those things. People are freaking out on surface level. It feels a little off. It's like if the son of Messi became a soccer player and then started complaining about the working conditions or the practice conditions of soccer, if famous celebrities came out and called out the celebrity entertainment industry even though they were part of the industry. But then if you keep going down that trail of thought, is that really bad, especially thinking about the effects that it had? Yes, there are definitely bigger problems in life, and there are probably problems that regular folks that aren't part of the vice chairman TPG level have experienced that he has probably never experienced. We can go on and about personal experiences versus what they're able to talk about, but I think that's not important in this context. If anything, it's not really surprising that someone at Goldman Sachs happens to be the son of someone of big finance background. Statistically, that's actually a very high occurrence, and people that have parents that do a certain trade end up in that trade because they know the benefits of being in that trade, they have insights into that trade, and they have connections in that world. Part of the reason why you and I work so hard is because we want our children to have the benefits that we may not have had growing up. We want them to reap the benefits by us breaking into something, us getting into a world that they can also benefit from. I don't even think this is all necessary to say in talking about this topic, but I don't think it's a surprise that someone that whistle blew on the industry happens to be from that industry family, because a lot of Wall Street people are by nature children of Wall Street people. Once again, I understand that he probably had a pretty good financial life. He probably never had no food on the table, and he probably never struggled to meet the bills for whatever he wanted to do. That it really has nothing to do with what he has initiated for the Wall Street junior level working conditions and industry. If anything, I think that the fact that he came from such a background but had the opportunity to make this viral, do the survey, and get this ball rolling, whether or not he actually meant to do this or not, I think it almost could have only been him in a way, given that he probably had the guts, or the ball plural form, to do this, because he probably didn't have too much to lose and had much to gain by doing this, and he thought this was enough. And even though his dad probably preached to him how beneficial this industry is in a long-term standing, I'm sure growing up he also knew that this was a very demanding work job sphere. But once he got into it, especially given COVID conditions, he realized this is just not it. And given where he's from and the knowledge base that he had, and much like people like me and people like everywhere else in Wall Street, they realized this is not the way to live life. And I think that initiated him to do this. We can complain all we want about the fact that he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, or whether or not he deserves to complain about these things. He should have known what he's going into. Is he the ultimate case of, do you know who my dad is? But that's not really how the story unfolded. A group of Goldman Sachs analysts got together, realized that working conditions are terrible, sent the survey around, people filled it out, the reality came out, and it was as if senior bankers in the industry somehow didn't know that working conditions were bad this entire time, as they were churning down various deals, working across time zones, having no camaraderie available as they were working from home, no real increases in base salaries or bonuses, while the banks continuously made more money and had record years. Of course, frustrations are going to build up. It happened to pop with the Goldman Sachs survey, and it happened to be that one of the people that were part of the survey or initiated the survey, just coincidentally, is the son of the vice chairman of PPG. But I think that has nothing to do with the reality that there was an issue, this provoked it being issuified, and then it led to positive changes, well-deserved, long-deserved, for junior bankers of the industry. I'm not saying process doesn't matter. I'm not saying circumstances don't matter. And I think it's important to think about why people are the way they are and whether or not they have been actually affected by the things that they're fighting for. But if the circumstances and the consequences and the effects of the causes and whatever happens as a result of something happening is a net positive and something long overdue that most people within the sphere and even outside the sphere can agree on, then I'm not really sure what the actual problem is. Of course, I could also be making a problem out of nothing just for the views of this channel and for virality of this very interesting topic, but I think this world has a tendency to juxtapose things together to make viral headlines and make people be like, oh my gosh, a rich guy happened to complain about making money out of college and now they made a survey about it and rich people are getting richer. I think there's a difference between that kind of mentality and recognizing that there were unfair tendencies in this industry that were long due to be fixed, and this incident, this activity, this behavior, this survey happened to be a catalyst for what was coming anyways, just expedited through basically the internet and being shared everywhere. Once again, just in case I get in trouble and people get angry about rich people getting richer, 6-figure salary, 22-year-olds complaining about getting 6 figures over making PowerPoint and Excel, that's not really what this is about. If you are somewhat following the industry, if you follow my videos, if you follow my previous videos on this topic, and if you saw other reaction videos on the working condition survey, you could argue that there are worse things in life. I agree that there are far worse things in life, but you have to look at things sometimes in a vacuum and realize that there are things that are necessary to be fixed, and this has been fixed. And whether or not it was directly as a result of the survey or not, you can't deny the fact that this survey made things mainstream, made people recognize it, and made banks realize that they can't get away with doing this forever. So I'm not going to use his name outwardly because I want to respect his privacy, even though his name is everywhere on Wall Street Oasis and the Bloomberg article. I'm actually surprised that it's not a bigger deal than it is, but Mr. Son of TPG Guy, thank you for initiating that survey. Thank you for having that survey so that I can get my most viewed video ever. I'm sure you're getting a lot of comments, a lot of text messages, a lot of backlash. I'm not 100% saying everything you did was great and amazing, but at the same time, I think you did what I would have done if I was in your shoes, and it led to positive changes, and I think that's all there is really to it. One sentence summary of the day: the public audience and the media love controversial titles. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys next time. Whoever saw me in New York and said hi, it was a wild time last weekend. I hope to see you guys again. Let's go.